They stop recording.
Assumption.
Assumption means what? Anumana, right?
Yeah, Anuman. It's like there's no smoke without fire types.
Correct. So what is this? Right. So one is I write it in English only. Direct perception, right? Pratyaksha. Direct. It's what do you directly perceive with senses, right?
Sense.
Right? How do you increase the size of this? Next is somebody said by Anumana. Anumana is to infer smoke, fire. Right? Third one is
Upma.
Upama. Upama you should not forget, Upama you should remember. Upama. Upama is
Comparison.
comparison, correct, very good. Comparison. Like a tiger. Like, who is writing that? And then last one is
The traditional one.
correct. Tradition. Tradition means agami. Time tested. Like Vedas. Not Vedas, Upanishads. So 4 ways of gaining knowledge. Here, Atmabodha. Bhagavad Gita. Direct perceptions, There are so many smoke, fire, these inferences are always there. But Bhagavad Gita usually is tradition. Time-tested knowledge. Right? Okay. Now, so one needs to understand Atmabodha as a preliminary text to understand what? What are the 3 things that we need to understand later on in life? What is Prasthanatrayi means what? What are the 3 texts we need to understand?
The Upanishads,
Mm-hmm.
the Bhagavad Gita,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Brahma Sutras. So Atmabodha must be understood to understand these 3. These 3 are your main things. If you want to learn Vedanta, if you want to understand and live this lifestyle, then you need to learn these 3. Right. So as I said, Atmabodha means knowledge of the self. Knowledge of the Atman. Bodha, or knowledge of the Atman. Or knowledge is Atman. Atma eva bodha. There are 2 interpretations like that. Now, we will chant the first invocation. So generally, what happens is, if a text has an invocation, we chant the invocation itself instead of Sahana Bhavatu. Because already the text has invocation. So from next time onwards, until this book is completed, our invocation would be this first verse of Atmabodha. So it's best if you learn this, right? So I will share this. Let's see. So you repeat after me. Pratasmarami. Repeat. I can't hear anybody.
Pratasmarami.
Hridi samspuradatma tattvam.
Riti Sanspuratmanam.
Hridi Sanspuradhatmatattvam.
Riti Sanspuratmattan Tanvyam
Tattvam
Tattvam.
Pratasmarami.
Pratasmarami.
Hridi Sanspuradhatmatattvam.
Riti Sanspuratmattatvam.
Yat Swapna.
Yat Swapna.
Everybody, I can't hear. Everybody chant. Yat Swapna
Yat Swapna
Jagrita.
Jagrata.
Yat Swapna Jagrita Shushupta.
Yad Swapna Jagrata Sushupta
Maveti Nityam.
Mavedviti Nityam.
Maveti Nityam.
Mavedi Nityam.
Maveti Nityam.
Mavedi Nityam.
Not ti. Maveti. Right?
Maveti Nityam.
Tat Brahma
Tat Brahma
Nishkalam
Nishkalam
Nacha Bhuta Sangaha.
Nacha Bhuta Sangaha.
Okay, again. Pratasmarami Hrid.
Prata
Okay, repeat. Pratasmarami
Pratasmarami
Hridi Sanspuram
Riti Sansfuram
Tatmatattvam.
Datva Tattvam.
So, Pratasmarami
Pratasmarami
Hridi Sanspuradatmatattvam.
Riti Sansfuradaatmatattvam.
Satchit Sukham
Satchit Sukham
Paramahamsam.
Paramahansamam.
Paramahamsam
Paramahamsam
Gatim Turiyam.
Turiyam.
Okay, again, first two lines. I'm teaching you this because this is the invocation that we chant every day now, every time. That's why I'm teaching you this. Pratasmarami hridi sanspuradatmatattvam.
Pratasmarami Riti Sansfuradaatmatattvam.
Tatchit Sukham Paramahamsa Gatin Turiyam. Satchit Sukham Paramahamsa Gatin Turiyam.
Paramahansagatitturiyam.
Yat
Swap
Swapna Jagrita Shushuptamaveti Nityam. Yat Swapna
Swapna
Jagrita
Jagakritam
Shushuptamaveti
Vedi Nityam.
Tat Brahma
Brahma
Nishkalam
Nasa
Tam
Nacha
Nishkalamaham Nacha Bhuta Sangaha.
Nacha Bhuta Sangaha.
Right. Now, what you do is, now that you know the words, you keep listening to this after the class, right? Then you will learn this. This is a must. The later on, that's your choice. But this invocation is a must you need to learn, right? So we will read it now twice. Pratas
Pratasmarami
Spuradatmatattvam
Vam
Tachit Sukham Paramah
Param
Gatin Tudiyam Yat Swapna Jagat
Swapnajagakasushupati Nityam
Tat
Tadapram
Brahman
Nishkavalaham
Chabhu.
Chabhuta Sangha.
One more. Pratasmara Samsatmatattvam Satchit Sukham
Sukham Param Hansagatinam Turiyam.
Yat
Yata Swapna Jagrite Sushuptam Nityam.
Brahma nishkalamaham na cha
Nacha Bhuta Sambhaha.
Right. So what is he saying here? By the way, this is the chant that we chant every day at 4 a.m. All of the students. This is
Okay.
the second, third verses. Invocation, first, second verses. Right. So pratas marami means in the early hours. Pratha means early hours. Marami, I think in the early morning, I contemplate upon Hridi samspuradaatma tattvam, something which is deep in my heart. Hridi samspura, inside my heart. Right? Early morning, I contemplate upon Atman, the essential self shining in my heart, which is Sach Chid Sukham, like Sachidanand, Sachit Sukham, which is existence, knowledge, bliss. Paramahamsa Gatinturiyam. Paramahamsa Gatinturiyam means that is the supreme goal, Paramahamsa. And that needs to get, I need to get that supreme goal, Turiyam, which is the fourth. I'll explain all this. Which Turiyam, Yat Swapna Jagrata Shushuptam Aveti Nityam, meaning that which is constantly Nityam. Swapna Jagrata Shushupt is cognizing, is looking at that which is looking at that. Nityam Tad Brahmam, I am that. Tad Brahmam Nacha Bhuta Sangaha. I am not, I am that Brahman and not the Bhutam. Bhutam means not Bhut. Bhutam means the elements. I am not the elements, assemblage of elements. Right. Now, there are so many terminologies here that we can easily understand. So first thing, in the early hours. So if you want, first and the foremost thing, if you want to learn Vedanta, it must be done in the early hours only. Later on, you can study. But if you don't study in the early hours, it has no sense. It's not, I am making this up. It is directly from Adi Shankaracharya. Pratasmaran. You don't get up in the morning and smarami and then sleep again. That's not meaning. I contemplate upon Pratasmaran. So any purpose of invocation is to shift your gears. You understand this? Shifting your gears. Usually what happens is we are all the time involved in the world, and all of a sudden there is a Vedanta class at 9:30 a.m. So you fatafat, you're wrapping up your stuff and cooking and this and that, and you need to immediately go and then think about God now. It's not possible to shift the gears, all of a sudden ki hum log material things you're thinking, and all of a sudden you want to think something spiritual. So invocation is a transition. It transition. But I'm starting something. I'm starting something. So it takes some time to get into that shifting the gear. So invocations are for that, right? Activating the subtle intellect to bring the mind from the mundane to the transcendental. So what is this? In the early mornings, Pratasmarami, I contemplate upon Atman. Contemplate means I study, right? It's not Atman. No, a contemplation means what? You know what the definition for contemplation is? It's thinking. It's thinking. So you must study in the morning. It's directly, he's interpreting that. There's no other interpretation of this. You contemplate upon Atman, which is what? Huh? Shining in the heart. That is poetic again. Shining in the heart means which is effulgent, which is, they say Atman is self-effulgent, meaning it has its own light. Nothing has to illuminate. It is illuminating other things. It throws lights on something. It doesn't see, like sun is self-illuminating.
So it is the light itself.
It is the light itself. So you don't need to see sun with a with some other light. Sun is light. So what is it? It is in my deepest heart. Heart means it is your personality. Don't open your heart and see something Atman there. There's nothing there. Heart is poetic. Head and heart, we talk about what is head and heart. Something कुछ दिल बोल रहा है, दिमाग कुछ बोल रहा है. Right? What is important for you? दिल की बात सुनो दिल से. Dill is important. Without the heart stops pumping, everything starts failing. So it's something within your heart which is illumining everything. Which is what is the nature of it? It's existence, knowledge, bliss.
Satchitanand.
Satchidanand. Right? So existence means it is existing in inanimate objects, which we studied last time. It is knowledge in living things. And when the living things go back to sleep, it is still there in deep sleep as bliss. So everybody likes sleep. Why? We all like sleep because we forget everything. We don't like dreams also. Dreams also very, I was dreaming so much, I was dreaming that there was, I was falling and then I was chased by the tigers and all that. Dream itself you don't want. Dream also so many emotions going on. But best is what? Deep sleep. Everybody wants to have a deep sleep. You take a sleeping pill, go directly deep sleep, you don't want to get up on. So deep sleep is absence of agitation. Absence of agitation. It's not presence of pleasure, presence of happiness. You see what they say? It's happiness is described in Sanskrit as nakam. Have you heard this before? Okay. So I will write this. Whiteboard. So I explain this. So happiness is described as, you all can see this, right?
Yes.
Nakam. So kam means bliss. So look how it is split. See, first is, it is split as kam, right? And then second is akam, and third is na akam. A in Sanskrit means non. Shanti. What is not Shanti?
Ashanti.
Ashanti. Ashanti. Vidya. What is ignorance? Opposite of Vidya.
Avidya.
Vidya. So in Sanskrit usually means non. So you know how they describe happiness. Nakam they say. So what is kam means bliss. Akam means na. No. Akam. No bliss. Right? Now this is double negative. Not na akam means it's not no bliss. So what you must understand is no bliss equals sorrow, right? No bliss means what? Sorrow.
Sorrow.
Right? So na akam means
It's not sorrow.
Not sorrow. First, if you look at this, make the way they write this thing. Come is bliss, right? Not bliss, right? Not bliss. Not bliss means sorrow. right? Na akam. Na is again non, right? Na is also non. Na akam means not sorrow. What is it? Not sorrow. It's not bliss. It's not positive bliss. You are not. You're not in sorrow. That means you are in a neutral state. You're in a neutral state. It's not a positive bliss, but it's neutral. So when you were agitated, you're not in agitation.
So
That's it.
then neutral is equal to heaven.
Ah. So when they talk about heavenly bliss, they talk about a state where you are, where you don't experience sorrow. So you are shanti, but you're not happy.
Got it.
Positive happiness is self-realization. So
That's
we have never experienced positive happiness. Only a self-realized soul knows that.
That's it.
Most of the time, we are in negative happiness, which is sorrow. When there is no sorrow, we say, ah, I'm so happy. No, 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 no. You're not happy. You don't have that agitation which you had before. You
That
know
is
what?
why it is termed as heaven.
So it's heaven is not like you're experiencing positive bliss.
So
Only self,
there is no happiness, there is no happiness, no sorrow. This is
no
how we
happiness,
heard.
no sorrow.
Okay.
No happiness, no sorrow. Interesting state. Hence they say, Are, what are you going checkers for? You do punya karma for what? Heaven. For no sorrow. And then that karma exhausted, you come back to this. Again, you do punya. They say, what are you doing? Punya, experiencing, coming back, experiencing, coming back. Just get rid of action itself, get rid of desire itself. Then you will go to this ecstatic state of positive bliss. Once you reach there, you can never come back. So, here he talks about that. Existence, knowledge, bliss. When he talks about deep sleep, it's no bliss. It's no sorrow. This is neutral state. Right? Which is the supreme goal. This is next is which is the supreme goal. Paramahamsa gatim, meaning that which you want to reach. That supreme goal. Which is what? Turiyam. Turiyam means four. Turiya means four. Turiya also means that eating thing, na? Vegetable turiya. Some people don't like that vegetable. Turiya means fourth. What is fourth? Waking, dream,
Deep sleep.
sleep. Fourth. They just didn't want to name it. They didn't know what to name it. It's a positive blissed out state. What is that state? It's fourth. Fourth state of consciousness. A consciousness where you are aware of everything. Past, present, future doesn't matter. Where you are constantly in bliss. There is no concept of darkness there. Like how sunlight doesn't understand darkness. If you go to sun and have a discussion, Mr. Sanji, कल रात को क्या हुआ था मेरे को इतना भयानक क्या बोलते ड्रीम आया था, स्वप्न आया था. The sun will say what? What will the sun say?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Sorry, say that again.
I
No.
don't know what you're talking about.
No, you'll say, correct. You'll say, sir, what did you say just now? Can you repeat that? Say, no, कल रात को क्या हुआ था? क्या?
He doesn't know the concept of Raat.
What is Raat? He doesn't understand. Okay. So, a fourth state of consciousness, which you have never experienced. But the sages say there is another state of consciousness, which once you hit, you don't come out. You're always coming in and out of waking, dream, deep sleep. Right now, all of you are in what state?
Waking,
Huh?
waking.
Waking now? Pakka, right?
Yeah.
Pakka, everybody is waking only. And then some people may be dreaming, I don't know, and deep sleep. So, but there's a fourth. What? Aveti Nityam. It's always aware of that. You are aware of waking, you are aware of dream, you are aware of deep sleep as well. You know, it was a very nice dreamless sleep, you will say. Who's saying that? If you're not there, who will tell that there was no dream? Somebody is saying that, right? You understand the concept? You must be present in deep sleep to tell that there was nothing there. When you get up, you say, "Na, sir, I had a wonderful sleep, no dream, sir." How do you know? If you were not there, if there was nothing there, how would you know that there was something called as no thoughts? How did you know that there were no thoughts? Dream means thoughts only, no? So, no thoughts. Are sir, how are you able to say that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I know that there were no dreams. There was a time when I had no dreams. Right? How can you tell? I know. You were there. You're not the thought, huh? Must understand. It's not a thought that is telling you. Because deep sleep has no thoughts. Nityam aveti nityam tad brahmam. That brahmam.
But I want to ask you, a person who self-realized, that means the Turiya, he experiences the waking, dream, and the deep sleep. All these are still there.
He doesn't experience.
He doesn't
They go
experience.
through.
The
It,
body experiences.
yes, it goes through. He is aware of that going through.
But he doesn't experiences, you mean? That is no experience.
He experiences,
But the body experiences, no, sir?
yeah, in the experience in the sense, he doesn't, he is not sucked into it. He looks at it as though going through. So he look at the body disintegrating. He look at the mind going through all the emotions. He will look at the thoughts. He is different. He's
You mean he is not affected by that?
no, it's not his anymore. He cannot differentiate that this is my thoughts. In the sense, he knows, but there is no connection between the thoughts and him. My thoughts is not, the concept is not, there's no concept for him that this is my thoughts. This is, I feel like this. There's no something such thing as I feel. It feels.
Mm.
It thinks. What thinks? Like how I say you are thinking, you are saying I'm thinking. He says it thinks. What thinks? His body, mind, and intellect thinks. I mean, goes through. So total disconnect. He cannot be identified with anything. He's identified with something else.
But he goes through the pain and pleasure or no?
Yeah, he understands the personality. The jiva is going through pain and pleasure. He looks at it, the pleasure and pain, like how you and me, it's a very crude example. We look at a child going through emotions. You look at it, right? But it's a very crude example. It's not the correct example. He also looks at the body, mind, and intellect going through the experiences. It's not him. He's somewhere else. He's disconnected. He is disconnected from particulars. He is connected to everything. How else explain? I don't know. There is no personality in him, but there is something going on, right? This body, mind, intellect is there. You go to that person, ask him, sir, kya karna hai? He will tell you. Who is telling you? The personality is telling you. He is not the personality.
That's subject and object, like that, no? Different
Ah.
it is.
Right. He is the pure subject. Unconditioned by body, mind, intellect. Unconditioned by thought itself. It's,
Witness.
absolute witness. Absolute witness. Correct?
It happened with Swami Ramakrishna. He was suffering from cancer of the throat, and somebody asked him that, "How are you feeling, Swami?" He said, "My body is paining, but I am all right."
I remember I told you this when I asked Swamiji, he had this black hand, something happened to him, dark. I asked Swamiji, how are you feeling? He says, body will pain, Ra. Ra in Telugu means kya? Re. Body will pain, Ra. Body will die. Says. Body will pain, body will die. He didn't say, I'm fine, I'm all right, nothing. Body will pain. You're not even looking at me. Body will pain, body will die. Big deal, he said. That big deal. So it's totally disconnection. We cannot understand it. Even if we get a glimpse of it, right? By God's grace, if God is very kind to us and He gives a glimpse of that state, that's enough for janmas. Just a glimpse you need. क्या हो सकता है वो state? You will pursue that relentlessly, But that God's grace has to be there. Who He gives the grace, God only knows. That without that grace, nothing happens. So Nityam, constantly, that Brahman, Nishkalam, indivisible, unifying principle. There is no you and me, there is no concept. No, there is no my mother, my father, my brother, my friend. There's no my. When you say brother, whose brother? My brother. There's nothing. There is no concept. There is one unified entity, indivisible. Aham. There's just one. And not these elements. Bhuta means this body, mind, intellect, as assemblage of elements. No, body is made up of what? 5 elements. Air, earth, fire, space, water. 5 elements. I'm not that. So one of the practices is as much as possible, whenever possible, maybe write down a small note, sticky pad, you have that, post it, write it down. I am not the body. I am not, or you're not, you say, I'm not this body, mind, intellect. I'm not the BMI. I am the self. I am witnessing this BMI. Write it down in a post-it. And whenever you see that, feel it. Don't just read it. Feel it for a second. That's the practice. It's called negation and assertion. You negate this body, mind, intellect. I'm not this. What am I? I am that which is seeing this. You just go inside, You just go inside. Oh, no. This thing's happening. I witness that. I am not this. You just feel it for a second. That's enough. So, not the body, mind, intellect, assert and negate. So this is what he's saying in this Prata Smarami, Hridi Sansuradhatma. So when you get up in the morning, you do this prayer. I am not this assemblage of elements. I am that Satchidanand, Paramahamsam. I am that supreme goal which I'm trying to pursue through this study, Turiya. I am that fourth Yet, Swapna Jagrata Sushuptam Aveti Nityam. I'm always cognizing that. Nityam, all the time, I'm cognizing all these three states. Tad Brahman, I am that Brahman. Nishkalam, and indivisible, one unified entity, not this body, mind, intellect. Right. So what questions do you have?
Sir, you said that you must feel it. You must feel that you are witnessing. So how
Yes.
do you do that? How do you feel that you are witnessing? Yes, you observe that you keep telling yourself you are not the body, you're not the mind, not the intellect. But how do you feel that you are witnessing?
So, see, the more you are convinced that you are not the body, mind, intellect, to that extent, you will get the feeling. For example, if you say, I am not the body, it's a very dry, empty statement. It's an empty, hollow shell. If I say, I'm not this body. But you back it up with some knowledge that you gain. 37 trillion cells are living in this. You know, it's like Earth saying, I am Earth. It doesn't make any sense. Earth is full of 7 billion, 8 billion people and trillions of organisms. What is Earth? If Earth says, I am Earth, what is Earth? What is it? Pinpointed? No, it's an assemblage of things. What is it? There's no such thing as Earth, if you ask me. If you say, I'm this body, 37 trillion cells are there. What are you? Definitely, I'm none of this. I can't be one because it's not possible. I am something, right? So I'm not this body. I'm not the emotions, thoughts either. The thoughts keep on changing. Then what in the world am I? Oh God, I'm not this. That is the feeling that you will get when you negate. It's a feeling of a little bit of fear and little bit of and more of a happiness. Oh, I'm not this. Then what am I? I'm the self. I'm that which is aware of all this. There is a bliss. When I'm not this, there is a fear. It's the feeling. You understand it, you back it up with your knowledge, intellect, then you get the feeling. See, all these great masters who were bhaktas, they were not buddhus. You ask Mirabai, she would give you the analysis of Bhagavad Gita like nobody else. Where is that confidence in bhakti coming from? See, it's not blind belief in God that they had. They had faith in God, a reasoned belief. So you would say, Are, all these Kabir Das and all of these are like emotional people. No, they were highly intellectual, but even more emotional. So that that ability, that knowledge backing the emotion, nobody can counter that. Nobody can question that. Impossible. Nobody can falter that. Nobody can break that. If there is no knowledge behind that emotion, it falls. It breaks. Knowledge must be your pillar. So with knowledge comes the feeling. With knowledge comes the trust. With knowledge, you will say, oh, God takes care. I'm not just saying because somebody said that. I'm not just saying because I heard it in a satsang that God takes care. No, I have reasoned belief that God takes care. You may be saying, sir, God takes care now, He created us. That's not the reason. It's not the reason. There is enough reason to prove that He takes care. So you must understand that intellect is important, that logic is important. That's where the feeling comes from. Any other questions you have? So we will close the verse with the chant. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti. I will send the invocation in the group. Please keep listening to that invocation so that you know. Like listen to it 10-15 times, you will know. Right? Sure. Hari Om.
Thank you, sir.
Hari Om.